average income of a silver is $2,200. Let's go to the next one. Gold looks like this, 3 premiers. The average income of a gold is $4,800 per month. Remember when I started off the example? What if on the 15th of the month you received a $5,000 check each month? This is where this type of stuff starts. Okay, let's go to the next one. Platinum, 3 silver organizations. Each of those silvers, so 3 organizations, each in silver, and your average income is $8,800. The next rank is diamond. Diamond rank has 4 silvers, average income of $16,900. Next one is blue diamond. The average blue diamond is $41,600. And a presidential diamond's average income is $114,300. Now, what do you want to accomplish with doTERRA? It's completely up to you. There's nothing stopping anybody from doing whatever they want. What would happen if on the 15th of the month that is a reality? And after you figure that out, then you're going to have to make a decision of whether or not it's worth it to try. Okay, and that's how I teach people about the opportunity. Can you teach it like that? If you can. If you can't, you practice. Because what I do is I spend most of my time doing that. I rarely teach classes anymore because people on my team, if you're an executive in a league, you can teach a class just as good as me. But sometimes it helps when you teach a business overview and you're doing it from a diamond perspective. Seth, I think if you just talk to them, they might be interested. Okay, let me talk to them. Sure enough. Right? And I get that. And it's just an advantage that we have, which is why your business actually grows faster when you get to that point. Because you can bring that kind of validity to it all. Now let's talk a little bit about what's most important about this. Let's go to the next slide. How does a diamond think? I mentioned that the activities that you do, how you actually succeed in doTERRA is you're actually involved in 4 different kinds of activities. 1 is that you're teaching classes. 2, you're doing membership overviews. 3, you're doing business overviews like I just did. And 4, you're mentoring your team to do the same. That's how you do it. Okay? So, but I have seen people who spend a lot of time doing those things, but they don't think correctly. You have to start thinking like a diamond thinks. Okay? So, how does a diamond think? Well, let's go to the next one. First, we understand the value of a pipeline. You have to start treating pipeline money differently than you treat bucket money. Okay? Give it the respect it deserves. I'll explain that in a bit. They invest instead of counting hours. If you find yourself saying, well, I've been working at this really long, and if I were to take all the hours that I spent on doTERRA, and I could have made more money doing this. Of course. That's because you're putting bucket expectations on your pipeline business. I don't put pipeline expectations on my bucket business. Could you imagine me going to flip burgers for an hour and then complain the next day that they didn't pay me again for the hour I spent? Same thing in regards to this. You have to treat it with the respect it deserves. Understand that the pipeline is different. So realize that investing is important. Think about the person who hauled buckets during the day and in their spare time they build the pipeline. You think at any point during the time they're going, why do these pipes cost money? And you know what else? I've been digging this trench for a long time and I haven't seen a freaking dime. See what I'm saying? You're putting unreal expectations on the pipeline when you think it should cost nothing and there should be no investment. When I look, my last company, when I left it, our overhead was $250,000 a month. When I saw doTERRA and realized what it would take to build this, and I'm like, wait, you're saying all I have to do is put gas in my car and buy some materials to go teach some classes and buy oils and share them and sample them, that's it? Tops $1,000 a month? And I can create what? To me, it blew my mind. But people who come from bucket hauling jobs when they're not used to creating businesses and investing in their pipeline, they look at it and they go, it's like $1 an hour. Have any of you experienced that before? I have. Man, I spent how long putting on this class? Nobody showed. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So, how much capital would you need to put in an account that's earning 5% to duplicate some of the dollars we talked about in the compensation model? Okay? So remember, pipeline money, there's different ways of creating it. You could become a landlord and buy different properties and receive rent checks. You could try to create businesses that had residual reoccurring cash flow. Or you could do something like this. One thing you could do is you could invest a little bit of money every month into a 401k or some sort of investment that's earning a certain percentage and live off the interest of that investment. Have any of you familiar with that? All right? That's what, in fact, that's what, work for 40 years and take a little bit of your cash and put it somewhere else, and then you eventually, the interest is going to be so great that you can live off of that. Well, how much money would you have to put in an account to earn the type of money that doTERRA offers? Let's go to the first example. This is the most disrespected bonus in all of doTERRA. People do not understand how valuable a $50 residual check is. A $50 residual check is worth $12,000 sitting in an account earning 5%. 12,000 bucks. Now, how long do you think it would take you to build that organization right there? How long? Huh? A class? One class? What else? Any other? I'll give you 3 months. Let's say that, because you have to find 3 people who love the products enough to order them every month to have that kind of pipeline in place, right? So let's say that it took 3 months to do it. That would be the equivalent. Go through the, you got 2 right there. So it took 3 months to build, and that would be the equivalent of someone putting $4,000 every month into your retirement account, right? So let's say that I get, well, actually, let's go to the next slide. I want to show you this one. 250 bucks a month is worth $60,000 sitting in an account earning 5%. Now, if it took you 6 months to build this, that would be like earning $10,000 a month into your account. Now, the reason I bring this up is because this is what normally people do. Let's say you spent 6 months building doTERRA and you worked your butt off for it. And someone came to you and they said, hey, how's that doTERRA thing coming along? It's coming along pretty good. I notice you're gone a lot. You're always teaching classes. I sure am. How much are you making? You've been doing it for 6 months. What are you making every month? $250. Just like you all did, you all started laughing at that person. And the thing is that in reality what you've done is you created a $60,000 asset. That's the value of what you've built. Because if you had $60,000 sitting in an account earning 5%, that's the check that it would give you. And if you could build that over a 6-month period of time, do you think it's worth it? Show them the next one. This is a silver organization, $2,200 a month. That is worth $528,000 sitting in an account earning 5%. $528,000. How long do you think it would take you if you really got after it and built a silver organization? How long?
3 months.
A year.
About a year. If it took you a while, it takes you about a year. Now that is worth $44,000 per month. Let's say that you came to me and you said, Seth, I'm sick of the bucket game. I don't want anything to do with it. And I said, okay, here's the deal. You come work for me. You're going to teach classes, member overviews, and business overviews. That's your job. Okay? And if you came to me with that, I'm going to set up an account that's in your name. And every month that you teach classes, member overviews, and business overviews, I'm going to stick $44,000 every month you do that into an account. Now, you're never going to have access to that cash, but you'll always have access to the interest every month. Would you take the job? Would you take that? Now, if I was paying you $44,000 a month for you to do classes, membership overviews, and business overviews, where on your priority list would you stick doTERRA? Where would it fit?
Top.
Yeah, it'd be like God, family, doTERRA, right? That's basically how it would work. And so, but this is how it works. I'm going to do doTERRA, except right after my job. I would come to convention, but I got a job. I would do this, except for, my kid has a basketball game, and I never miss basketball games. Well, I would do it, except it's my daughter's birthday. I've missed my kids' birthdays on the day that it was due, but we celebrated it twice as big the day that it wasn't. I've missed my anniversary occasionally in the last 4 years on the day that it was due, but I also took my wife to Ireland for the entire summer, so I don't think she's that upset. It's like, it's just understanding, if someone was funding an account at $44,000 a month, how would you treat it? How would you treat the job that offered you that? Where would it fit on the priority of things that are happening in your life? And my point with that is people who go diamond get that. We understand that, and we treat it accordingly. So if I'm building a business and I go, I just spent $500 on an airplane ticket. And someone's funding your retirement account $24 grand this month. It just isn't that big of a deal. You have to start thinking that way, or else you're never going to have what a diamond has. Let's go to the next one. That diamond income right there is worth $4 million. What if it took you, what, 4 years to build? That's the equivalent of someone investing $84,000 a month into your retirement account each month that you build a business. 4 years later. Now again, where on the priority list fits doTERRA if that's a reality? Let's go to the next one. That blue diamond check, that's worth almost $10 million. Let's say that it took you 10 years to get there, or 6 years. Now it took me 3. What if it took you 6? It's still the equivalent of someone putting $138,000 a month into your retirement account from the day you start. You get that? I hope you're all like grasping this, because if you can, you're going to start to treat your business differently. Let's go to the next example. This one right here. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good seeing you again.
So this presidential diamond organization, that's worth $27 million invested. $27 million. If it took you 10 years to get there, that's like someone investing $229,000 a month into your account. Now I want you to just think of this. Let's say that you worked super hard in year 1. You worked your butt off and you only hit executive. And then year 2, you kept working extremely hard and you finally hit elite. And then year 3, you finally get to premier, and 4, you finally get to silver, and everyone's still making fun of you. But year 5, you get to gold. It starts to make a difference. And then year 6, you get to platinum. Year 7, you finally get to diamond. Year 8, you get to blue diamond. It takes you 2 more years to get to presidential. At what point does it not become worth it? When in this part? When? And the problem is that people don't have the discipline to treat it like it's doing that in the months when they're not making anything. When they're putting more money into the pipe than they're getting from the pipe. Does this make sense? But diamonds understand this. You have to understand this. If you get it, you're going to start treating your business with the respect it deserves. And I want to tell you why this presentation was created. After I spent the summer in Ireland with my family, I got back, I got a phone call from one of my friends that happens to work for a Fortune 100 company. They called me up and offered me a job. And it was to basically create sales systems, it's to create some sales systems for a company for about a couple of year period of time. They offered me a $500,000 a year salary. When I went home from that, I was like, I'm going to have to think about it. And they're like, huh? You got to think about this? And I'm like, well, so I went home and I told my wife about it. I'm like, this is what they offered. She goes, what do we do with that? I'm like, I don't know. What do you do with that? And she goes, do we turn it down? I'm like, I don't know. Do we turn it down? How do you turn that down? And she's like, I don't know. Do you? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you? And we're going back and forth, kind of figuring out what to do. And then she said, and then this was the turning point. We go, well, what would they expect from me for that 2-year period? I'm like, I'm going to be there at least 12 hours a day, probably 6 days a week. At least. And then she said, well, what if you put 12 hours a day into doTERRA for the next 2 years? Where would you be? And I went, there. So then I did the math. That's not bucket money, that's pipeline money. What do I have to have invested to get that kind of residual check? I have to have $27 million invested to get that kind of residual check. And even if it took me 10 years to get there, they would have to pay me $229,000 a month for me to consider it. So I turned down the job. Now, think about this honestly in your heart. If someone offered you that job, would you turn it down for doTERRA? If the answer to that is no, I wouldn't. That's why I'll be presidential. I mean, I just kind of being straight honest with you. You respect it that much, you'll kill it. Now, I also want to be very clear about things too. There are some things I don't sacrifice. I don't work on Sunday. Almost every time I don't work on Monday night either. Spend it with my family. Almost every time Friday night is set aside for my wife. And I'm a huge believer and proponent of the fact that no success compensates for failure in the home. And if I hit that goal, if I get there and in the end I lost my marriage and my family, then it's the greatest failure in the history of my life. I get it. However, my family, my wife and my kids treat my time away with the respect it deserves because they understand this also. Does that make sense? All right. Go to the next one. Diamond is a choice. Now, hit this thing. This is, do you guys see the movie Matrix? Remember when the guy, Morpheus, is his name? He hands Neo 2 pills. And he goes, you can take pill 1 and go back to what you were doing before. Or you can take pill 2 and you're going to see what life really is. I'm offering you this because I just showed you the truth. And you can go back to what you were doing before, or you can start acting with the knowledge that you now have. Diamond is a choice. You can choose Diamond, or you can choose your comfort zone, but you can't have both. Another way to say it is you can choose Diamond, or you can choose your excuses. And let me tell you, our excuses are so awesome. They're incredible. That we believe them to the point where we actually don't do things because we explain our excuses so much. But you can have one or the other. Let's go to the next slide. This is how I do it, so you want to know how to get there. This is something called the 631 success schedule. By the way, I have 4 minutes to get through this, so I'm going to go fast. Question number 1. Now, by the way, this stands for 6 daily questions, 3 weekly objectives, and 1 monthly event. This came as a result of when I first got started in doTERRA, Michael Klaus came in and he said, hey, if you want to be Diamond, this is what you have to do. One of the things he said was you have to talk to 2 new people every single day. Now, just so you know, I'm about to hit Presidential Diamond and I don't talk to 2 new people every single day. Now, here's the reason why. I was sitting Rod and I were sitting down trying to come up with a real success schedule. And I said, and we were about to write down, talk to 2 new people every day. And I said, Rod, do you do that? And he goes, no. I'm like, yeah, me neither. We're both Diamonds. What's up? And he goes, well, I don't know, but what I do is I ask myself questions, and that will tell me what I need to do that month, or that day. So then we started figuring out, well, what questions do I need to ask myself? Let's go through this. By the way, the 3 weekly objectives, this is how you hit Diamond. Attend your weekly calls. Your team has a weekly call, I imagine, right? You can go Diamond and attend the call, or you cannot go Diamond and don't attend it. It's up to you. Talk to your mentor and set goals. Every week, talk to your mentor and set goals. And number 3, teach 2 to 5 people a class. I don't care how many people you're talking to every day, but you have to teach at least 2 to 5 people a class every week. Doesn't mean it has to be in a class setting either. It can be 2 one-on-ones, 5 one-on-ones. Does not matter. Okay? But that is the minimum amount of activity that will create momentum to hit Diamond. Let's go to the next one. 1 is 1 monthly event. By the way, congratulations for being here. This counts. Okay, the next one. 6 daily questions. Question number 1 is, who will I share the oils with today? I want you to think about the 3 doors. Who will I invite to that each day? 3 doors, 3 invitations, 3 presentations. Those are the 3 doors, those are the 3 presentations. Every day, question 1 is, who can I invite to this presentation right here? Okay, let's go to the next one. Here are some scripts. We already talked about this, but are you open to natural forms of healthcare? What do you know about essential oils? Would you like to learn more? When can we meet? Invite them through the door. There you go. Okay. Question number 2. Who has attended a class that I will follow up with? Who has attended a class that I will follow up with? After the class, I'm going to go to them and ask them these questions. What do you like most about the class? Which kid interests you the most? Would you like to set up a wholesale account? Right? All making sense? This is review. Question number 3. Who has enrolled that I will help better understand the Loyalty Rewards program? Or another way to say it is who needs a membership overview? Who has enrolled that has not had a membership overview? Okay? So, here's the next thing. After a person has decided to use the products, our next step is to schedule a membership overview to show you how to manage your orders and get the most from your membership. When are you available? Like that script? Practice the script. Get really good at the script. And then that'll take us to a membership overview. What does a membership overview look like? This is at the very beginning of the membership overview. We read this to them. As a wholesale member, you have 2 ways to order product by placing a standard order or loyalty rewards order. A standard order is a one-time order. Loyalty rewards order is a reoccurring monthly order that can be customized, adjusted, or canceled at any time. Isn't that an awesome definition of the loyalty rewards program? Then I'll show them all the benefits of a loyalty rewards. By the way, every single graphic you're seeing right here is in the membership overview.
So tough to take
Okay?
pictures.
And scripts.
Scripts are there as well, yes. They're on the fast track planner. All right, now go to the next one. Then I'll talk to them about the Modern Essentials book. Every person who I do a membership overview, after I explain the benefits of this, we go over this so they know how to do it. I'm trying to empower them, which then leads me to this right here. When we teach a class, we spend our entire time on informed self-care. Almost the entire time, right? So this is when I show them the doTERRA Wellness Pyramid and show them there's a lifestyle element to it. Most people understand the Loyalty Rewards program, but they don't know what they would order on a regular basis until we show them the doTERRA lifestyle that includes eating right, exercising, managing your stress, and reducing toxic load. So I'll show them. We'll go here and say, look at this pyramid. Here's eating right. Here's a protocol of 4 products that you can implement into your diet that will help you with your nutrition and eating right. This is a phenomenon. These, by the way, are the way that you create your Loyalty Rewards orders to go way, way up. And in particular, the Terrazyme. You guys know what's awesome about Terrazyme? Do you know why this is the most amazing product that doTERRA possibly has? It's amazing. Okay, so you're going to want to record this. You ready? Get out your recorders. You're going to want to learn this right here. Every chemical reaction in your body requires enzymes. Your ability to think, move, breathe, everything requires enzymes. You have 2 kinds of enzymes. There's metabolic enzymes that help you do everything that you're doing, and there's digestive enzymes that help you digest food. Digestive enzymes only come in raw food. That's the only place we get it. And because our diets are so deficient in enzymes, our body has to convert metabolic enzymes into digestive enzymes. Okay? So when you keep stealing from your metabolic enzyme bank to digest food, eventually you have a hard time eating, breathing, moving, thinking, all of those things, right? It all has to do with stealing from that. In fact, I've read one doctor who says that basically when you're born, you are endowed with a certain number of metabolic enzymes, and when those run out, that's when you die. So I take Terrazyme, 1, to digest food, yes, but more importantly, so that I don't keep stealing from my metabolic enzymes, I leave those alone to help my body do what it needs to do, to be healthy and strong and function the way it's supposed to. Now, have any of you heard that before? That's a good way to explain it, and if you do explain it that way, everybody gets on Terrazyme, all right? Next one, diet and exercise. Look, here's the pyramid again. We're on the diet and exercise section. I put in these products right here. Why do you think I put Milo 2 Max in here right in this section?
Energy.
Energy. Why do you need energy? To exercise, right? I mean, most people don't exercise because they don't have energy. Me, on the other hand, if I ever get the urge to exercise, I just lay down until it goes away. Now, if you ever make the mistake of exercising, I recommend you use Deep Blue to recover. All right, hit the next one. This is rest and managing stress. This is the mood matrix. Some people come to me and they say, I always feel fatigued. I feel tired all the time. Is that an angry and impatient tired, or is that an unmotivated and discouraged tired? If it's unmotivated and discouraged, you're going to use hypnosis. I feel stressed all the time. Is that a tense and worried stress or a hopeless and withdrawn stress? And depending on what they say, will determine which oil I give them. When I explain this to someone, I have sold so many mood matrix oils from that. Let's go to the next one. Next one is, if they still don't know what they're going to add to the Loyalty Rewards order, then I'll say, do you wash your hands, brush your teeth, or wash your house or clothes? Right? Do you do any of that? And if you do, then here's an option. By the way, I want to point out that if you want to go diamond, you have to do those things. You have to. If you're not brushing your teeth or washing your hands, you can't go diamond. All right, now let's go to the next. This is the 30-day cleansing protocol. Over a 30-day period, these are the products you start with on day 1, when you incorporate GX Assist, when you incorporate PB Assist, and if they don't want to do the entire cleanse, then I'll explain this to them as well with the protocol. This all clear so far? I'm going super fast. Now, at the end of the membership overview, at the end, I'll ask them, are you open to the idea of creating an income with doTERRA? Which leads me to question 4. Who is using the products that I will talk to about the business? Every morning I write down names of people who are using the product that I have not yet invited to learn about the business opportunity. And when they do, this is what I show them. I go over this, the story of the guy who hauled buckets until I built the pipeline. I also talk to them about why our compensation plan is so awesome, and I always recognize who holds the cookie. Now, by the way, you guys, let's assume that you had the best cookie in the world in your hand, like the very, very best, which happens to be that cookie right now. Now, if I had the best cookie in the world, then I went up to Tammy and I said, Tammy, would you like a bite of my cookie?
Yes.
See that? Would you like a bite of my cookie? No? Okay. Oh, okay, some people don't like the cookie that I have to offer. Would you like it? Right? In other words, the point is you have to remember when you're talking to someone about the business, who holds the cookie? You do. And this is what normally happens when we talk to people about the business. Hey, can I have a bite of your cookie? I know that you don't have much, and there's not much left, but can I have the rest of it that's remaining? Oh, it's okay, I didn't think you would. I hold the cookie. I think about it. When I decided to become a presidential diamond in doTERRA, 6 people had to commit to me, right? In a big way. 6. And those 6 people who committed to me are going to be at least what? Platinum. The best day of their life, next to their wedding and the birth of their children, is when I talked to them about doTERRA and asked them to be one of my 6. Now that's holding the cookie. That's what I get. Right? You see what I'm saying? I get it. So when somebody says, I don't like that cookie, I go, okay. And I'll give it to someone who will take it. My best friend said no. My very best friend, Pearl, said no. So I went and offered the cookie to those people. Okay? Question 6. No, question 5. Who is building the business that I will support? Who is building the business that I will support? Question number 6. What will I read, watch, or listen to that will help me develop as a leader? I would start with those. Those are fantastic books. What will I read, watch, or listen to that will help me develop as a leader? Those are the 6 daily questions, you guys. I ask myself those 6 questions. I write down the answers. This is called the Daily Edge notebook that I have. And every day, I will write down the names that come to me in here. So either at night, the night before, or in the first thing in the morning, I will take 5 minutes and answer the 6 daily questions. Now you'll notice on this day, I wrote down 3 names that came to mind here. 3 that came here. I could only think of 1 person here, 1 person here, and 5 there. Now, and then I put down the book that I was going to read. Now, as I reached each one of these people, as I contacted them, I checked the box each time I reached them. So right here, I had 3 names, but I was only able to reach 1. See how that worked? I reached all 3 of them, and I reached everybody else on my list. Now, here's the guarantee. If you write down these names every single day, and you are in contact, you check the box with at least 5 of those people in any one of those categories, or any combination of those categories, every day for a year, you will be a diamond. And people go, well, then why aren't more people diamond? Exactly. Why aren't more? Okay, diamond is a declaration. I love how in our country, we do not celebrate the day that we won our independence, we celebrate the day that we said we would. We became independent in 1793 after we won the Revolutionary War. We celebrate every year, firing fireworks off every year on 1776. We don't even celebrate the day we actually won. We celebrate the day we said we would. Think about that. Diamond is very similarly a declaration. You have to declare it and choose it completely. Now, last thing I just want to share with you, and that is that I talked a lot about the business tonight. And I spent a lot of time speaking passionately about the business tonight. But I understand that there is a spirit to the work that we're doing. And there is a motivation that makes the work joyful. I was reading through a hymn book, and I found a hymn that the words of it were so profound. When I read it, I thought, that is how you build doTERRA business. I just want you to listen to the words as I sing it to you. I'm totally kidding. I don't sing. But here are the words. Have I done any good in the world today? Have I helped anyone in need? Have I cheered up the sad or made someone feel glad? If not, I have failed to be. Has anyone's burden been lighter today because I was willing to share it? Have the sick and the weary been helped on their way? When they needed my help, was I there? There are chances for work all around us now. Opportunities right in our way. Do not let them pass by. Saying sometime we'll try. Go and do something today. The song goes on to say, then wake up and do something more than that. That's how you move the Now, I just wanted to notice something. Notice the different feeling that came in the room when I shared that song? That is the spirit of the work we're engaged in. And that's how you do it. As much as I love the business, I love the spirit of the work that we're engaged in. Helping people find healing, life is one of the most amazing works I've ever done. In fact, the best work I've ever done. All right. Any questions? Let's go do some good. Now, I just want to point out one other thing. Go to the very last slide of the presentation. Next one. Everything I've talked to you about tonight is at edgesuccess.com. Okay. Door 1, essential oil class. Door 2, member overview. Door 3, that's a business overview, which we went over. And if you think I still need Seth to talk to these people, there's a CD that Rob and I did called Buckets, Pipelines, and Essential Oils. Hand that to someone and see if they don't want to do the business. This is a fast track plan. That's how I mentor people. That's the Daily Edge notebook. That has the 631 scheduler that I talked about. And that's the 4 Essential Steps audios. All of that comes in a kit called the Edge Success Duplication System, which you can get a discount if you get that. But anyway, my point is that that's, if you're wondering where can I get up, that's where you get it. And I hope that you find it helpful. And if not, then keep doing what you're doing, but just realize that you're holding on to something real special. So thank you very much. I love you all.
Woman that has just begged me for months to get in here, and so thank you for myself. Yeah. And I want you to know, and to even know the success. This is absolutely my favorite care pack, and I use it for every single class I've ever done since I first discovered it, even in the old version. And so I love it, and so I highly encourage you. I love the simplicity. I love exactly what he said. I've never had it explained to me, but I love what he said. You talk about it and then give them the experience. It's awesome. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
We'd still really like to get your email so we can let you know about the next classes. If you're not on here, we'll have it on the email.
Seth, I want you to come up. Thank you again. Another round of applause. The newest presidential diamond. I have all my These are all my notes. I was not by my stuff because I didn't want to come in from the camera. Okay, let's do our final drawing. Couple of drawings, that is. And if you need some modern essential books, I have a couple left, $25.